against Travis. The match we will be seeing today is Reece, Nighswander, I believe, against Evan Smith.
Right, and it's a pretty interesting matchup that we've got there. Reece is playing the Trevenant that shuts down item cards, and using that with Gengar EX to try to do kind of an old school item lock deck, and that's versus a Manectric deck, which is a little different from what we've seen. It's a Manectric Seismitoad combo deck, so that's kind of a more modern deck, whereas this Trevenant Gengar is kind of an older deck.
I see the kids starting to stand up and go towards the announcer, so it looks like we're about to begin.
All right, let's go to that interview.
Okay, well, actually, I guess we're not going to the interview quite yet.
We'll be ready pretty soon.
Few technical difficulties right there, obviously, as you can tell.
Yeah. What do you think about this matchup, though?
Without divulging too much information, because I really do hate to do that when players don't have their headsets on, I do think that it's going to be a very interesting matchup. It's one deck that we don't really see very often, at least not this weekend we haven't seen. And then another deck that's been doing quite well this weekend. So anyways, now we're going to the announcer and the players.
All right.
Thank you so much, and welcome back, Pokemon fans. We are about to kick off the Juniors Top 4. So these guys have been playing all day, had probably a really, really long day, and I'm sure they're tired. But they are two incredible competitors. Guys, for the people at home and some of the people watching here, maybe you can tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Reece, and I'm from Austin, Texas.
All right, Reece traveled pretty far here from Austin, Texas, down south. And how about yourself?
I'm Evan, and I'm from Illinois.
Oh, Evan's close. Nice. All right, man. Not too bad of a trip. But, guys, you're playing in a really, really important match. Have you ever been this far in Pokemon before?
Not nationals.
Wow. And how long have you been playing?
This is my second competitive year.
Oh, my gosh. And you made it to the top 4. That's really, really good. How about yourself? How long have you been playing, and how far have you gotten?
2.5 years, and this is the farthest I've ever gone.
All right, we are about to see two players face off for the best they have ever done in their Pokemon careers here. Two guys that have been playing for just 2 years. So good luck to both of you, and we're going to send it back to our commentators, and let's watch the match.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now the players are getting ready. They're about to put their headsets on. We're about to see this top 4 match to see who's about to become a finalist in the United States National Championships in the junior division.
This has got to be super exciting for these players. Like they said, neither of them have even been playing 3 years at this point, and both of them cracking top 4 at nationals. That's got to be super exciting for these kids.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, your competitive juices get flowing, and especially when you're this young and you're just this, energetic, you just can't wait to get started. And neither can we who are about to watch the match.
Yeah, I think we're going to be going over to the game here pretty soon. One thing I do want to note is Reece has that item lock, and Evan does play a pretty item-heavy deck, so Evan's probably going to need to go as fast as he possibly can, but he has an item lock of his own, so it could be an interesting matchup there, and we're heading to the match right now.
All right, looks like we're getting ready to begin, and the players, I believe, started their first turn here, and it looks like it might be Evan that begins the game.
Yep. Don't quite have the top view here yet. Hard to see what they're playing, but doing a couple deck searches there.
That's correct. So even though we are having some technical difficulties, it is nice to see that Evan has started the game off, and it looks like he's not short on trainers as he's playing through his deck.
Yeah, certainly not wasting any time. He's got a Pokemon on his bench. He's got his Turtwigs there looking on. That's really important.
All right, there's that top-down view we were looking for. Seismitoad there's, I believe, a scoop-up Cyclone in order to get the Seismitoad into the active position.
Yeah, playing his A-Spec scoop-up Cyclone right away there to get his Seismitoad into the position. Also, he puts the Head Ringer onto the Gengar, so he was able to identify Reece's strategy pretty quick and really took an unorthodox, super fast line there to try to make sure that he got things locked down, although he, of course, couldn't Quaking Punch on that first turn.
I believe we're seeing an Ultra Ball from Reece here. Now, Night Attack from Gengar normally is able to attack from the very first turn on. That's what you want to do with this deck. You want to start dealing 3 damage or 30 damage right away. However, with that head ringer, obviously he can't do that anymore, and that really messes with Reece's strategy here.
Yeah, I mean that's great early on, but really he wants to be hitting that dark corridor, and again that's going to make it even more expensive. I don't know if Reece plays a Dimension Valley in addition to his Verbanks, but doesn't look like he does, so he doesn't have a chance to counteract that head ringer.
Okay, so we do see that Reece had a great start here, got to Versus Seeker in order to draw 7 new cards with his Juniper, and another Ultra Ball from Reece here.
Yeah, and he's kind of burning through those items quick, just like Evan was, because both decks have some amount of item lock. Even if you can't do it completely optimally, playing the item cards that you can when you can is going to be important for both these players.
That's correct. Now, we do see a couple of Phantoms in play. Well, actually, it looks like, a couple of Phantoms in play for Reece. He does want to start getting his Trevenant in play as soon as possible, obviously as early as turn 2 if possible.
Yeah, we just saw him get a Ultra Ball for a Trevenant, played a Shaman EX.
Now there's Reece's Ace Spec here.
The computer search, way more commonly seen than that Scoop Up Cyclone.
Yeah, that's for sure. So computer search will find Reece any card that he wants in his deck. He obviously doesn't have to show it to us, so it's going to be a mystery until he does decide to let the world know what it was.
Right. I wonder if he has some kind of tool removal. I do see he has one Xerosic, so that would help there. Oh, no, Xerosic is not tool.
He's already played a supporter for the turn as well.
Right.
He does play a Muscle Band and just passes the turn, so we do not see any type of aggression from Reece here.
Yep, Evan has a good shot of getting set up here if he can get his Seismitoad in the position he wants. Looks like he's in really good shape, although he doesn't have anything on his bench except a lone Zubat at this point. So he's in a little bit of danger there.
Yeah, we do see a fan club from Evan, though. And Evan is searching for a couple of Pokemon. He's got quite a few options here. He can go for his Manectric EXs. He can start loading up his bench with Zubats. Well, I guess those are the big ones. And then obviously a Shaman EX if he decides that he needs more cards in his hand.
Yeah, he does play one Absol, but that's probably more of a counter for the Raichu and the Mega Rayquaza decks that have those huge benches. So that might not be a card he ends up looking for on purpose in this game.
I believe he found a couple of Zubats and he has 2 Zubats and a Manectric. Yep. He attaches an energy to the Manectric for foregoing any type of Quaking Punch shenanigans.
Well, he already had the double on there from the last turn, so he's able to Quaking Punch and get his item lock going. So Reece has got a long road to hoe at this point because he is not going to be able to use that Dark Corridor for a long time. And now that he can't play any items, he's got that Gengar kind of stuck. Looks like he's loading up the other Gengar he's got on the bench. Probably just going to try to trade out that initial Gengar. Don't know if he has something like AZ that'll allow him to pick that up. Doesn't look like it, though.
Reece played a Shaman in order to get a pretty large setup for 4 cards, and then he decided to Colress away his entire hand. So unfortunately, that setup really didn't help him out too much, but beyond the fact that he got a Colress out of it.
Yeah.
He does draw 8 new cards from the Colress, though.
Yeah, he's digging pretty deep, not sure exactly for what, probably getting energy to get his benched Gengar ready to do Dark Corridor so he can get the item lock of his own going with Trevenant.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the strategy here for Reece. He does want to get a Trevenant going as well as a Gengar in order to be able to attack. He also needs to have some sort of a Float Stone or something like that in order to be able to retreat the Trevenant and allow this kind of combo to keep going every turn.
Right, so he's got the benched Gengar ready to go, but just passes the turn. Just going to give up that active Gengar, it looks like, unless he gets something going. Evan plays a Golbat there, trying to shut down the Trevenant on the bench with the Flash Bite.
Yeah, it looks like Trevenant now has 5 damage counters on it. 5 damage counters on it, which, without even getting attacked, is pretty important.
Right. Looks like he does play that Absol with Mind Jack, but I don't know that he's going to be doing much with it. Picks up his Golbat, puts some more damage counters on it there.
Yeah, he hit a Super Scoop Up. He hit heads on it, which let him pick up the Golbat and play it one more time. So now the Trevenant has 7 damage on it, 70, without even taking an attack, and that's the power of these Crobats.
Right, and now we've got to see what he's going to be doing here next. He's putting down another Manectric, just solidifying his board position more, but probably just going to be going with the constant beat down with the Quaking Punch for now.
Yeah, that's the thing, is not only is he dealing damage to this Trevenant, but he's also putting a lot of pressure on this active Gengar, which has been in the active position since the very first turn of the game. So now he's finally going to start attaching to the active Gengar here, and that's just kind of so that he can start finding a way out of this lock, even if that means that the Gengar gets knocked out, assuming.
Right. Another Colress there. Again, digging for answers, trying to find something to help him out of this situation. But it's gonna be rough unless he gets that Float Stone. He can't even get his somewhat lock. But that Trevenant is already super damaged at this point.
Man, he gets to draw 10 cards with this Colress. These are some huge Colresses here. And if he's got any type of a shot at drawing out of this Quaking Punch lock, it's with huge Colresses like that.
Right. It's probably the biggest Colress we're going to see in this match with some of these Mega Rayquaza and Raichu matchups in Skyfield. We've been seeing the 16 Colress. But yeah, these big Colresses are doing a lot for him to trying to find answers. It's giving him the best shot, but it doesn't look like he's even gotten that Float Stone yet.
Yeah, so not only does he have Quaking Punch, but he's also trying to set up these Manectric EXs. He does not play the Mega Manectric EX, which means that he's just trying to deal heavy damage with Manectric with its second attack that deals up to 120. What do you think? Do you think Evan's going to want to break this Quaking Punch lock anytime soon?
I don't know that he necessarily does because it's doing so well for him, although Reece did get his benched Gengar up front and was able to do his version of the lock. So he hit for that big Dark Corridor and was able to get a bunch of damage on the Seismitoad, and now he's got Trevenant up front for his own item lock.
Yeah, we do see that Trevenant is down in the active spot, but it has 70 damage already on it, which is quite a bit, and it's not long for this world.
Yeah, it's gonna lock down Evan's items for one turn, maybe two. Evan's doing some more Golbat flash bites.
Yeah, that's 90 damage now on the Trevenant, which means that it's about to get knocked out here.
Yeah, it does not have a ton of HP left there. So I think that Evan is probably going to want to stick with this Quaking Punch combo.
Oh, I like that. There's a big Lysander here that's going to knock out this Phantom, and an Enhanced Hammer to get rid of the double colorless energy on Gengar.
Right. He knows that he's got the Trevenant pretty close to being knocked out anyway, so he might as well knock out the Phantom to prevent another Trevenant from showing up.
That is huge because if he can get rid of the field worth of Trevenants and Phantoms, then there's no item lock on Reece's end, which means that Evan's got free reign to do whatever he'd like.
Right.
He does have to find a way to knock out this Trevenant too, though, and if he could find something like a Crobat, he'd be able to knock it out.
Right, so he just plays his Quaking Punch. Now we go back over to Reece's turn. He puts another double colorless on that benched Gengar, but now he doesn't have a Float Stoned Pokemon up front, so he has no way to get his Gengar back up to attack in Dark Corridor again.
Yeah, also keep in mind that Manectric EX does knock out a Trevenant that has a Float Stone on it, so we have to keep that in mind for future reference in this game, or in this match.
Right, that second attack looks to see if there's an item card on the defending Pokemon and can do extra damage.
Yeah, so Phantom, 50 damage on it, 10 HP left. If he evolves it to Trevenant, he'll have 60 HP left, which, quite a bit, but not too much yet.
Right, and we do have to also note, though, that Evan's Seismitoad is still poisoned with that Burbank City gym out, and so is taking 60 damage each set of turns that it stays out there.
Yeah, that is correct, and it's going to get knocked out at the end of Evan's turn if he decides to keep attacking with it.
Right. He puts a Team Flare Hyper Gear, puts another Head Ringer out on Shaman because he can't put one on the Gengar because it already has a tool.
Finally finds a switch.
Yep, and puts that hurt Seismitoad back onto the bench, brings up the Manectric, and that Manectric puts another energy on his bench Manectric and looks like he played a Professor there, discards his hand, gets 7 new ones.
Yeah, he does have another Seismitoad EX in the deck, so hopefully he finds another Seismitoad to be able to keep this Quaking Punch lock going. He already used a Scoop Up Cyclone earlier in this game, so obviously he'd like to do it now, but it's no longer in the deck.
Right. He does have 4 Super Scoop Ups as well, so he could do that, but that also makes him give up some of his other cards when he plays that.
All right, so now Manectric EX is going to start potentially overrunning here in order to knock out 2 Pokemon.
Right, so that's another fun combination. Yep, he gets to do that overrun to knock out both of those Phantump, and the Trevenant. So shutting down all the item lock Pokemon. And what's kind of mean here is he's get to use Assault Laser. It'll do 60 extra damage to that Gengar because of its Muscle Band. But also the one with Headringer will take extra damage. So he plays that Headringer on the opponent's Pokemon to make it harder to attack, and then gets the bonus from Assault Laser anyway.
Yeah, it's a great deck, and it's got a lot of synergy in it. However, Lysander from Reece does activate this Seismitoad, and it looks like Reece is finally going to take his first couple prizes of the game.
Yep, he's going to do a Dark Corridor. That'll knock out the Seismitoad, bring up his he does have a third Gengar on the board now, although that one cannot Dark Corridor yet. He needs a double colorless energy to be able to do that. But here comes a fully charged Manectric as well.
Yeah, so Manectric does have a couple of energy on it. It can start Assault Lasering to knock out, to start dealing quite a bit of damage. And Reece is just in a world of hurt here. He wasn't able to play trainers for who knows how long, how many trainers. And now that he can, he doesn't even have any Trevenants in play to be able, or even Phantoms in play to be able to start some sort of a log going for himself.
Yeah, one interesting note there. Evan just played a Professor's Letter to go look for some energy and only found one basic Lightning Energy. So he may be actually getting a little low on energy, although it looks like he has a decent amount in his hand as well. But he probably doesn't have too much else left.
All right, a Super Scoop Up does, I believe, miss here.
Correct.
And that was pretty big. He would have been able to scoop up like a Crobat or something or a Golbat, I mean.
Right. He wanted to be able to use those come into play abilities again. One other interesting note about Evan is he doesn't play any of Mega Manectric, which has been pretty popular, we've seen recently. But he's just going to go for the Assault Laser for now.
We do see where Evan's deck is finally starting to stutter a little bit. It only dealt 80 damage with Assault Laser after a Muscle Band, and that's nowhere near enough actually to knock out the Gengar. And if things go according to this plan, he'll take another 2 turns to knock out a Gengar EX here.
Yeah, interestingly.
Finally see a Phantom, by the way.
Yes, and also Reece just replaced his own Burbank City gym with a Silent Lab.
Yeah, that's interesting too. I'm not quite sure what to make of that quite yet, but at the same time.
I got to assume that he's doing that to try to protect all those damaged Gengars from any Golbats and Crobats from coming out.
Yeah, and he probably didn't have a laser or anything like that in order to start putting pressure on the Manectric. Okay, so Gengar now does Dark Corridor and activates a Phantom here.
Right, just brings up the little Phantom to be the Pokemon that's going to face the Manectric. But again, since he got rid of that Burbank City gym, not getting the super extra damage from poison.
Okay, that was a heads on this Super Scoop Up here in order to be able to get rid of this Manectric EX's damage on it, activates the new one, plays a Muscle Band here, and benches the other Manectric EX. And
yeah, it gets to do the complete cycle, almost completely returns that Manectric to where it was a minute ago.
Basically negated Reece's entire turn there.
Yeah. Except for the damage that Reece took. So, yeah, Evan's really